Yo, welcome back. We're on that big extension job, finishing off the inside. It's super windy outside, so I'm gonna get in there, but I'll just give you a brief show of the outside and how we're getting on in this project. So we've got an outdoor socket down there, one more outside light to fit that the customer didn't have when I fitted the rest of them. Extractor grill on with a backdraft one on the inside of the fan. And then we've got some gas bonding going in there, got to put the tag on. Then we've got some more outdoor lights all the way around this property, which is looking mint. Nice sleek white render with the black windows and the black accessories like black outdoor sockets. So overall, this job now is looking really good. And let's take you on the inside and let's see what we've got to do today to finish off. I'm also here tomorrow, so there'll be some footage tomorrow, and we're gonna get my new little toy, which was a drone over Christmas. Gonna get that in the sky and get some cool aerial shots for yourself. This is in the utility. You saw me second fix this, the spotlights, which are just there on a previous video. But overall now, all the kitchen cupboards and everything are in, so you can get a real feel for what the design they went for. So we've got the nice sleek Manro silent fan up there. Switches are still yet to be changed in here. I've got all Knightsbridge antique brass going on. Them ones there, I just need to get some longer pins or some pirate legs. Got some sockets down there, just need to finalize it. Switch. In here, we've got a fuse switch spur and a double socket going in for the Dyson, and the fuse switch spur is going to operate this plinth heater I've just wired up. There, not really got anything going on. Over here, we've got another switch. So this one is one here for the two-way lighting, so it's over there and over there. And then this one also does the fan because they don't want it on all the time in here. We've got a double socket there. Down there, we've got a double socket and an isolator for the front outdoor socket. And then into the big bit of the kitchen slash diner, we've got a switch there with all sorts going on. I need to get that on. In this cupboard, this is the exciting cupboard really. There's all sorts going on in here. We've got a double socket going in there. We've got 3 cooker isolators. So I've already labelled it up, hob, left cooker, right cooker, belled it all out and tested that. So we've got the cookers being wired up, left one, right one. The hobs are going on next Tuesday when the quartz worktop gets put in. And then up here, we've got a bank of switches. So we've got the ring main coming in, and then all these long ones here are obviously brand new, which we've got the freezer, the microwave, the fridge, and the island power. So carrying the ring through the grids modules, allowing you to isolate it. That is in here, so that'll be like that. I'm gonna quickly run you around the whole job and show off exactly what's what and what I'm doing, so then the rest of this video will make sense of what I'm doing. So I'd rather do that at the start, and then I'll get into some actual work and showing you what I'm doing. So next to that cupboard, we've got the fridge. So it's literally just mount a double socket up there and plug that one in. In here, I've already done this one the other night. So that's for a microwave and any other plug-in utilities that are going in there. Here, we've got a freezer, and that's all done underneath, all wired up, all done. We've got a double socket there. Nice range, the Knightsbridge stuff. It's a bit different to the Click. It doesn't come with a black or white surround, so you can get a real nice finish. You ain't got to worry about that coming off. We've got RJ45 outlets there. The white double sockets going on, so that's going to be a TV on the wall. Double socket there. We've got some fancy outdoor lights on the other side, and then fancy wall lights all the way around. And then onto the skylight, which I'll turn on in a second. Let me just turn that on. Turn that on. There we are. Obviously, it's just set currently on a lime green sort of colour. You probably can't see it that well. It's probably flashing because of the camera. It's a bit like these, they're flickering. So moving on to the island, we've got 3 pendant lights, all central. So we've got one on the edge of that unit, one in the middle, and then one on the edge of that unit. On this side of the island, we've got a dishwasher there. We've got a cooker, whatever you want to call it, fancy tap going in. So I've got a supply down there. I need to wire that up and put a double socket just so they can plug in the dishwasher. And then I've also got to cut out a socket on here, just there, and then run the cable all down behind. So I need to do that before Tuesday, before the quartz worktops go on. And then realistically, there ain't a great deal left over here. We've got a central light there, but the customer doesn't have it yet. A few sockets. One, I need to refred the back box. Smoke heat alarm. We've got smoke's alarm in there. So we've covered all bases really on this job. It's a real nice job. The builder and his dad have built this, so it's just to cover the extractor hood to make it a bit of a feature. So that's really nice. And if I go under here and plug it, turn it on, that one, so that'll look really good. I turn that, I'll leave that on actually so I can see what I'm doing, wiring up the ovens. And then I've got a down light to be cut out there in front of that cupboard, in front of this cupboard, and in front of that one in the middle. The cables are all up above. and they are going to be cut out and the lights are there because they're having like the NutriBullets and all the other like utensils, not utensils, I meant appliances. So they're having all their appliances hidden in the cupboards, so it's like a sleek design kitchen with nothing on show, which is going to overall just look really smart and real nice really. It's like kind of a dream house this, once it's all done. It's enough waffling. I've showed you the job. Let's get on with some real work and showing you what you've clicked on this video to see. So still got all the gear in here, using the Milwaukee gear, got that in. I've got some mattresses, and the first job I'm on is getting in this cupboard, fitting a double socket there for the Dyson. Obviously I'll do the customer a favour and mount that once the Dyson comes, and then a few spur next to it, literally just to isolate the plinth heater. I'll run the next cupboard, fridge one, just fitting a double socket so the fridge can be plugged in. This is the joys which you don't see as an electrician. In a cupboard up here, working, not fun. Singles, so just doubled over the end, earth sleeved it up, get this click double socket on, and then plug that in. So tomorrow when it's all powered up on the grid switch, that'll all be working. The fridge socket all done, so we're into this cupboard now. Got a double socket going on there. The old box is in the wall. I'm just going to screw the new one, obviously a surface one, so they can plug in their appliances. We've got 3 Nigalon switches, 40 amp, 5 amp vertical switches going in, with 3 47mm malleable mattresses. So I've marked out roughly the back of each one. So then I'll just show you now. So there's the pencil mark at the center of the third one, and then the center of the first one, and then obviously that one is coming through into there. So what the script here is, we've got 3 6mm incoming from the fuse board, so hob, cooker. So they're just going to be separated, all labelled up, so I know exactly what's what. I can put the right cooker on the right, then the hob in the middle, and then the left cooker on the far left. And then these grid switch isolations I'm going to run you through now. So this is the grid switching system we're going to be using, the MK switching system. So we've got the faceplate, then you have to have a metal grid which screws into the box, and then that allows you to click in the modules. So we've got 4 20 amp double pole modules, so neutral is isolated as well as the live when it's in the off position, which is just a better practice, especially when you've got appliances on, because it eliminates the fault. Say in the future you come here and you've got a faulty appliance, you can switch it off there and you won't have a neutral earth fault, so then it's easier fault to diagnose exactly what appliance is causing that circuit to trip. There we have it, managed to get that on with keeping the power on. So what I'm doing this evening, I was actually on a job this morning, completed that, and I'm here tomorrow booked in, but I thought, I finished this one job today at 2 o'clock, so I thought rather than just going home and doing invoice and stuff, I'll do that later. I'll come here for a few hours, get this stuff on, like the dead stuff as such, like the dead power supplies, get as much as I can done for a head start tomorrow, so fingers crossed. I know it's going to be a long day tomorrow, but then I'll be fully ticked off and then it's just testing, and then I can power up the job. So what I've done is got my 3 mattresses. I made the executive decision I'm going to do a 35mm hole in the back of those 3, and then draw in the supplies into the separate ones. So then we're left with that there, obviously just higher up, just the cables are in the way. I've just multi-tooled a bit more left and right, so that's going to be fully covered, allowing them to enter into the back 2 cables into each one. So it'll be nice and neat like that. No holes on show, just a double socket ready for them to use. We've got the Milwaukee drill still going strong with a 5.5 amp power output. I've had quite a few people messaging me saying, are these high output, I can't speak today, high output ones worth it? So far, I think, I don't know really, I'm still a bit undecided. I've definitely realised, because Nick used to use the 8 amp Bosch ones, obviously 5 amp is lower ampage, so it doesn't last as long and not as much torque. So I definitely need to invest in some bigger ampage batteries, but they definitely are a bit better, but depends how much more money they are really, or whether or not you can get them on a deal. So I've got a 35mm Armag hole saw in the drill, just gonna go on the center there and cut that out. So that third one there struggled because I've not been taking the discs out in between. So now I have a habit of, if I'm doing something or using my gear, just clean it as you go. It takes longer, but in the long run, you just know exactly what you're left with. You're not, say I come to use this tomorrow, I know I can use it straight away. I ain't got to faff around pulling out all them white discs. So I'll get them out now. Well, that was convenient. There's a stall here. What I was saying is, Now I've cut this out, I'm gonna just run my knife around the edges and clean it up. Even though it's plastic, not metal. Obviously if it was metal, it'd be more of a hazard to catch on the twin and earth, but just gives it a nicer finish. So just quickly run my knife around using the Unilite knife. If you wanna get any Unilite goods, obviously you can use code ADAM, get 25% off, and the link will be in the description. So go check that out. And then literally just run that around, gives it that nice clean edge, and then I'll just run it around on the inside as well. You can get those fancy deburrer tools, but I just don't have one yet. So if anyone wants to get me one of them. There we have it. All 3 holes are nice and clean, so I can now figure out which one's which supply. I've labeled it all up, so it should be pretty straightforward. Bring them all through each box, and then just get them screwed in the cupboard, and then I'll show you how I strip 6mm. Is it 6mm or 10mm? I think that's 6mm. I'll show you how I strip 6mm cable, because you can't just get your CK crops around it and push it off with your thumb. I'm fully aware I need to go and get a Unilite and jam it in this cupboard so it lights it up, but it's not actually that bad. It's just the camera just sucks all the light, so it doesn't look as good for you guys, but I'll get a Unilite in a second. So the basics of it, it's all new colours, but the newer looking cable is my ones I've installed down to the cookers, just because they weren't long enough originally. So we've got that one labelled up as right cooker, so that's going to go on the furthest right. I have got a Brother label printer on the way, so that'll be given a fancy label on the front, which I'll show you tomorrow, because I think it's fingers crossed turning up. But literally all I'm going to do is try and wrestle and bend this cable over to there, bring it through into this back box, get that mounted. That's it. We're pretty much there, ready for tomorrow. So we've got the 3 isolators mounted, the double socket at the bottom, cooker cables through, and we've got the top one mounted, which is the same 35mm malleable box, ready for the grid modules. So that's that cupboard all ready. I don't want to mess around now turning the power off, being a nuisance to the customer, because it is 5 o'clock, so I'm going to have a little sweep up of that cupboard. Just going to have a bit of a sort out and make a list of exactly what's left to do. I find when you get to a project, big project like this, when you've got loads of ongoing bits and bobs in cupboards here, there and everywhere, write down a list and then just tick it off as you go. So tonight I'm going to write down a list, and then first thing I'm going to get here, I'm going to tackle all the rubbish, annoying things which I don't really want to do. Well, it's not that I don't want to do it, it's just not going to be fun. I'll tackle them, get them out of the way, or say if you've got any outdoor work, if you turn up the weather's all right, get it done. So get that done and then tick off my list, and then fingers crossed we shall be completed tomorrow. This is some of the Knightsbridge range I've been fitting. So we've got the USB ones there, some 2 gangs, so that's obviously for in the utility. And then, oh yeah, here's one out of the packet so you can see it a bit better. Oh, is that a good looking guy? I have actually gonna have to put a 4-gang white one on just temporarily over there, because they want a 4-gang dimmer Knightsbridge one, but I can't get hold of it. And then you can't have dimmers. I've always been told, and we've had it on jobs before, you can't put a dimmer on a 2-way both sides, so you can't dim it from both sides. Yes, I know you could use like Rayco smart lighting or some other smart lighting. I've seen all that on Instagram, but obviously that's a completely different kettle of fish. Normal standard wiring, 2-plate or 3-plate. Is there a way where you can have a dimmer on a 2-way on both sides? Let me know in the comments. So that's what we're having there, and then same exact thing, but with 4 dimmers on that side. Gonna have a little bit of a sweep up, pack everything up, put everything to the side. Gonna leave it here tonight because it's nice and secure now, this premises. And then I'll be back tomorrow and I'll show you terminating that. So obviously today was just a couple hours spare doing the prep work, and then tomorrow we're getting on to terminating, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do the ring main, because obviously it's a bit controversial really, fitting grid switches. Normally you'd have loads of little isolators, but it's just better in the cupboard here. So we're gonna be all your appliances and isolators. Day 2, I forgot to put my SD card back in the GoPro. I've just put the first one on. I was gonna show you how I strip the cable. So what I do is I make a little mark right at the end. I cut this earth out, grab the earth from my CK croppers, pull that up, and it'll then score it all the way along. Then you're not running the risk of running your knife down it and damaging the inner cores. Then once you get to the bit you want, you take the inner cores out like so, and then if you just pull the inner cores, obviously the grey will come off like that. So this is the niggle on front, so if you've got live and neutral out, live and neutral in, and then your earth there or earth there. That's then wired up, all on, onto the grid switch now, and that socket there, but I just need to go and turn the power off. Another good little tip as well, if you're doing 6mm or 10mm, keep all your offcuts, and then if you get a green cable bin, or just do your tap run, you can throw all this in there, and jobs are good, and then you get some extra money before Christmas. So I'll put the link down below if you want to get a green cable bin. I'm going to put some more videos out because I've got loads of tat in my van that I need to top mine up. So just keep all these big offcuts. You could technically strip these and sell these for like pure copper, bright wire rather than the insulation on them, but it just depends how much time you got. Double sockets on, 3 cooker isolators are on, the pattress is on, all stripped, earth's all in a way you go. It is a ring main, so obviously joining it through and then joining it through on the appliances. I can't see another way of doing it with the earths, so I've just used a big way you go, put them up there. I've got a ring main on the left, a ring main on the right, so each leg, and I've got all my appliances in the middle. And then I've laid this out just to show you how it's going to work. So we've got the 4 grid modules. We're going to have a links in between to power the modules. Obviously, because it's a ring main, you need 2 sets of 2.5 to pull the full 32 amps. So we've got a ring main going into this side with that connection, and then a ring main going into that side with that connection as well. So, and then obviously I've done the same with the neutrals as the links. So a bit of prep work, getting it all prepped, and then now it should be fairly straightforward. And then at the very end, once you've clicked the modules into the metal plate, then you get the MK switch front and just slide that over. It's all wired up. Just give you a bit of a run through. So obviously we've got the ring main on the left, ring main on the right, all the links in between, and then the loads going out at the bottom. So now it's a fun case of bending all that back into there and then screwing that back. These literally just push back, bend back, and click into those little slots there, little grooves, and then just a case of getting the white front on. A lot further on in the day, that cupboard's all done. Onto the utility, I've put all some more faces on. I've just got to do the switches. Down here we've got a fuse spur for the outside double socket, just an isolation point. That socket's now back. 2 white sockets there for the fridge freezers, not fridge freezers, tumble dryer and washing machine, and then just an extra plinth watt heaters all wired up with an isolation and a double socket in there. So it's all going to be labelled up, but we're getting there. And I've been focusing on getting the island done. So now we have a double socket with 2 USBs, looking good there. We've got some connections down here because I've run out of pattresses. So next Tuesday when I come, I'm just going to put a double socket on there so they can plug in the dishwasher. And then down here we've got a double socket so then they can plug in the cooker, whatever you want to call it, hot tap. I've cut out 3 downlights now, 1 in front of that unit, 1 in front of that one, and 1 in front of that one. I'm fitting JCC fire guards. We're all on. I've not done that switch. I've prepped it all, relabeled everything, and I've not done that switch yet, but I've temporarily put it on. As you can see, that's going to light up the cupboards really nice when they're on their own separate switch. The skylight's looking mint, wall lights are looking good. And then in the utility, I've wired up the switches. I just need to put an extra little peg legs on to extend them out a bit. So you've got the 2-way switching now between there, and then the fan on one and the outside lights on the other. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Catch you next one. Bye.